hear that.
Made up movies, made up movies.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Made up movies, made up movies. Yeah, 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 yeah. Made up movies. Movies in your face now. Come and get an earful. Made up movies, made up movies.
Hello and welcome to Made Up Movies. I'm Matt Shore and this is my bestest pal, Mike Kolar.
Hey, how's it going? Mike Kohler here, your bestest pal in the whole wide world.
That's right. He's not just my best pal, he's everybody's best pal.
Everybody's.
So we are professional film critics and we love movies. You guys send us in movies that you theoretically make up, but for what I understand, these are real movies.
These are all real movies that we watch that you make up.
But if you want to submit some ideas for some made-up movies to us, that we will treat like very, very real movies. That's our MO on this show. Go to our Twitter, which is Made Up Movies Pod, at Twitter, or at Made Up Movies Pod. Did that a little bit backwards. But you can also email to us at madeupmoviespod@gmail.com, and you can say, I've got a movie idea for you guys to review on your amazing review show.
Yes.
It's about some sort of turtle or something.
And we will do that.
It's a sexy romp.
The sexy turtle romp is great. We loved it. That was what we'll say.
It was incredible. And we will describe that movie because we will watch it somehow through the powers of podcasting, and we will review it like we really did see it.
Because we did actually see it.
Because that's the bit. Are you on board yet? Okay, you get it. You get it.
You get it.
You get it. Okay, so we got a suggestion from our dear friend, Tony Evans, and I might be putting words into Tony's mouth here, but he specifically said, man, I hate women. I hate how you guys did an episode about women last time. How about you do some good old sci-fi torture porn from the early 2000s? And I've got the movie for you. It's called Meet Cube.
Yeah.
And I thought cute.
Yeah, I thought it was Meet Cute, and it is not.
It is not.
There's nothing cute about this.
It's Meet Cube, like a three-dimensional square, a cube made of meat.
Right.
M-E-A-T. So that's the movie that we watched. So it was extremely gory.
Yeah, I mean, it's your classic Hostel Saw.
You think it's a classic?
I mean, no, it's your classic version of those movies. Like, everybody made a movie. It's like, how gross can we get in this movie by just, like, hacking people up? That was the early 2000s.
There was a lot of, for a movie without, I mean, I don't want to say it didn't have aliens, because there was some sort of science fiction-y element to it, but it was like unclear if it was aliens or beings from another dimension. Well, there was a lot of stuff erupting from people's various body parts.
I mean, it was gross. It was a gross movie, so like they tried to make like a jigsaw type figure, but it's just a guy with like a big meat square on his head, and it's not clear. It's not clear. Exactly. It's not clear.
Like a Silent Hill type thing.
Right, exactly, like Pyramid Head almost.
Instead of Pyramid Head, he just had a big, meaty cube on his head.
That's obviously how they got the name for Meat Cube, but it's like...
I mean, obviously.
But also...
but his name wasn't Meat Cube. That was just like the... He had like some weird name. It was like specific... his name was Beefheart. That's what it was. So his name is Beefheart, and he's basically like this, I don't know, a butcher, I guess, but he's a creature, right? It's not a mask in the context of the story.
Well, it's like how like Leatherface wears like that lady's face, like his mom's face, but it's like...
But is that made of cows?
Leatherface wears people's faces. This is like No. Time out.
What? Time out. I was not asking if Leatherface's face was made of cow leather. That is, no one at home who's listening to this thought that, right?
No, I thought you said, does he wear cows' faces? No, he wears faces from people.
Listen, I played Leatherface in a College Humor video. You can look this up. I will tell this story right now.
All right.
If only to stall because I was a little bit drunk when I watched this movie, and I don't remember the details super well. I'm not very good with body horror.
He was an ugly. The Beefheart or whatever his name was.
Beefheart. Yeah.
Yes, he was an ugly person who put a cube. He put a meat cube on his head.
The actor you're saying was ugly?
I'm saying they gave him makeup to make him seem deformed. Is what I'm saying. So yes, he was deformed and ugly.
Oh, I thought that was his dad. Because he was talking to that face in the mirror. And so that was him? Because he was still wearing the meat cube on his head.
Yeah.
But in the mirror, he saw like this deformed pig man.
That's him.
I thought that
he wears a meat cube to make disguise his disgusting face.
British?
What?
Why was the... Okay, so... Beefheart, who has a meat cube for a head.
Yes.
Just so we're on the same page.
We're on the same page. He's the bad guy in this movie. He's like the slaughterer. He's the butcher boy.
Yes. Yeah. He's the butcher boy.
Yeah.
So that just made me excited for The Boys. Great show. Unrelated. But, okay. Meat Cube is about a butcher boy named Beefheart, who has a meat cube on his head.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly.
When he's alone in the house where part of this movie takes place, well, it's not like, I don't know if it's a house. It's like a weird facility. Yeah. But, like, it's... Okay. So... He's in the bathroom in one scene, and he looks in the mirror. He's wearing a meat cube on his head.
Yes.
In the mirror, he sees a pig man who kind of looks like Sloth from Goonies.
That's
only mixed with the pig. Okay, that's him.
Yeah.
I thought it was his dad.
No.
He looks a little bit like the guy in Star Wars who's like, I don't like your face either. We're wanted men.
No, that's him. I mean, he might have been imagining his dad because he has this like Buffalo Bill vibe going on, but that was him. He's not... It's only him in that house.
Right. No, I understand that, but I thought he was hallucinating because, he has a voice that's like gruff and like, over there, there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So he only talks in like grunting and like gross one-liners about people's being cuts of meat and stuff, right?
Yes.
So, but when he's talking to the pig man in the mirror, who you're telling me is him, right?
That's him, yes.
The pig man in the mirror has a British accent. Or
I know.
It sounds like when Will Ferrell does what's his face on Inside the Actors Studio, where he has this voice like, oh, Scrum Trelescent. He's like, Beefheart, I see inside you. There's still some beauty within you. He doesn't say that, but he's like, you know what you must do. It's like, why does he have a British accent in a movie that ostensibly is an American sci-fi horror movie?
No, I mean, I chalked up to him being crazy, but there's no mention of his dad anywhere else in the movie. So if it is his dad, we have no reason to know that. Is what I'm saying.
I assume when someone's old and British,
they're somebody's dad. All old British men are my dad, is what you're saying.
That's the dream, right?
I guess.
It's like your dad
I just assume they're my
Paul
butler.
McCartney or Eric Idle or some shit.
No,
right?
I imagine those men as my butler, not as my
dream.
dad. Not as my dad.
Wait, who do you imagine as your dad?
Any British man I imagine as a butler. Not as my dad. My dad, I imagine, as like an Indiana Jones type.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Not my real dad, but like if I had a real dad.
Okay. Well, no. Wait, what? Okay, this is getting
what'd you say?
In the weeds.
What'd you say?
In the weeds. This is getting too...
I don't want to talk about dads anymore, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think... We're going to dredge up some stuff, just like...
it's too much.
Meat Cube, Beefheart.
So yeah, maybe it was his dad, but again, there's not enough character building to like defend that as his dad. Like, it's possible, I guess.
Okay, so the movie is basically segmented into... It's not a super long movie, but it's segmented into like your typical like horror opening that's like 10 years earlier outside this facility. We're introduced to these characters who are just there to get brutally slaughtered in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then we get like the title screen, Meat Cube, and then we cut to like when present day, whenever 2002 or whenever this was made.
we do that. We do that fucking fast cut, and it's like the rock music's playing. This girl's drinking a little too much.
Life is a highway.
Yeah. that classic early 2000s song. Life is a highway is playing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did Rascal Flatts not cover that song perfectly?
Yeah,
for the film Cars.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Starring John Lasseter himself as Groper McGee.
Yes, I don't know.
How do you not know?
I don't know.
Were
I don't
you
watch.
alive?
I only watch horror movies. I don't watch Cars.
I don't see why. I mean, if you think of Cars as a body horror movie in the style of Hellraiser, where they were all just normal cars whose souls had been stretched and melded with the skin in sort of a tusk kind of way.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
It becomes a lot more interesting.
That's pretty cool. Okay, well now maybe I'll go watch it.
Yeah, maybe you'll go watch it. Maybe you'll give that Larry the Cable Guy his due.
But no, so the beginning is
no response.
Nah, no, I'm not going to respond to that.
Like, no thanks.
Nah, he's fine.
I will not.
He's fine. He's got a mansion.
He's fine.
So yeah, it's the classic thing. These kids are playing outside. I assume it's a butcher shop, but it also kind of looks like.
Wait, are you talking in the
beginning?
Flashback. Okay, so we'll start there. So we're like in, I don't know when so it's probably the 90s or something, right? Or late 80s, early 90s or something.
It's time undetermined, but kids roamed free without a fear of Meat Cube around.
It's like at least 10 years earlier, I feel like.
Yeah.
So kids are playing outside the butcher shop?
The thing is, it's like a butcher shop.
Slaughterhouse or a butcher shop.
Because the house has such a weird,
it's a huge property. It's like it's a thing where it seems like they had access to this location.
Right.
And they're like, let's fucking shoot Meat Cube.
Yeah.
And someone else is like, it's a sci-fi movie. We don't have the space station. They're like, we don't need the
space
station.
We got tinfoil, baby. That's a space station. We got
tinfoil, and we've got my dad's slaughterhouse. And it's like, it almost feels like it was like a cattle yard. Maybe not even like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like a professional. Believe me, I've been in a lot of killing floors, and it doesn't have that kind of shine.
No.
It doesn't
feel
like a professional cow destruction facility.
Right.
I don't know it doesn't feel like a real slaughterhouse. It feels like a cattle ranch that also sells cuts of meat at like a roadside stand.
Right.
Is that right?
That seems fair. But the house at the beginning looks like the Texas Chainsaw House, like the outside. It's just like a normal house. And then, but I guess, they have a slaughterhouse in the back, and then...
You know what it reminded me of is, did you play Resident Evil 7 a little bit?
Yes.
Where it's like, it has like a main house, and then it has like a big property with a bunch of stuff. It's not forested.
You're on a giant property, essentially.
But it's like a big ranch property with like, this is the place just so they can have like a barn with meat hooks all over it, just to be a little bit more Leatherfacey about it.
But clearly,
there is a main house.
The kids are like... Clearly, the kids know this place is no good because one of them dares the other kid to go into the hook barn. I guess there's hooks hanging on the outside. Go
inside, get us a hook.
Yeah,
you think you're so brave? Get us a hook.
Which I guess is knowledge of this town that we're supposed to have prior. That the hooks are like it's so stupid.
I forget, they were playing some game or drawing something in the dirt where they wanted something. They like had a stick and the stick broke, and they're like...
It seemed like they were trying to like make up marble, like some weird marbles game, but they had no marble. It was very strange.
It felt like they just needed some fucking chalk.
Yeah.
But instead they were like, how can we carve into this dirt a permanent Squid Game? On the ground.
Squid Game before Squid Game is Meat Cube. Yeah. So good for them.
It's Meat Cube. Yeah, it's Squid Cube.
Yeah.
That which sounds like something you would get out of a Tokyo vending machine along with some lady's panties.
Yes. Right? A Squid Cube ladies' panties vending machine.
International Women's Day, ladies and gentlemen. That's when we're recording this one. So
one for the ladies.
Welcome.
You're welcome.
This is what Tony wanted. Tony said, God, I hate those ladies. Okay, I might be lying. Tony didn't say that, but he did say watch Meat Cube. He was correct about that.
Yeah.
So anyway, the kid goes inside like the barn. It's empty though. That's the thing. Is like this is supposed to be like there's a meat stand. Wait, so there's no dad, right? So there's guy in the beginning who's like not he looks like me. He's like not handsome, but he's sort of like ruggedly ugly in his way.
You could just say not handsome.
Wow, I thought you would come to my defense.
You said ruggedly ugly. That's just ugly. I don't care. I don't think you're ruggedly ugly. I think you're a guy.
I think ruggedly ugly is better than regular ugly, right?
I don't know. I don't know.
What
It's
does
still
ruggedly
ugly.
mean?
It just means you're beat up. Like you look like Mickey Rourke or something.
Yeah, exactly. He's a Rourke-esque figure.
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke was once beautiful. He was once human like the rest of us.
He became ruggedly... He was once ruggedly handsome. Now he's ruggedly...
So this guy who's selling... But what would he be selling roadside? Just like ribs and stuff? Like
it's
cuts
Texas,
of filet?
man. It's classic Texas.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, they sell ribs. They just sell ribs. I mean, that's real. They sell ribs at every gas station in Texas, and they're always delicious.
Really?
Yeah. They sell barbecue everywhere in the South.
Okay. All right. So that's not that crazy. Then.
Yeah.
So basically, he's the only one who runs this entire facility. Is that
besides Beefheart, I guess.
So no, that's what I mean. Isn't
you mean Beefheart is the only one? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there is that other guy selling meat, and there's no way he was also in the bar.
I thought that was the guy who becomes Beefheart, though. Is that not? Okay, so we just took a brief 40-minute break to try to watch some of this movie again and parse whether the guy in the beginning is Beefheart or a different guy, and we're still not sure.
We're not sure.
Because it's literally impossible for a facility and house this big to be run or maintained along with cows, breaking them down by one guy. But it seems like that's what the movie is implying.
That's what
but
it's
he
saying.
does have a friend, but it's never clear whether that guy works on the ranch. I'm so confused.
Yeah. It's we have more questions than answers now.
Because Beefheart does have a henchman, and he looks like he's like a redneck version of the guy who's the Dwight in the British Office.
Yeah,
who's like kind of gaunt and gangly.
Yeah, scary man. Yeah,
he looks like a scarecrow, kind of.
Yeah,
and so he's not there that entire. He's like buying meat at one point. But I don't think that's who he's messing with.
I think the guy selling the meat is Beefheart, is Meat Cube. I think that's who it is. I think it has.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Because so this is what happens. The kid goes in the barn. He's looking for a hook. He starts trying to pull a hook off a chain.
Yeah.
He can't unravel it. He hears like this weird warbling sound coming from within the barn.
Yeah.
And it's
classic
like,
barn noise. I mean, spooky barn noise. It's your classic spooky barn noise.
But there's some weird sci-fi tinge to it, right?
Yeah.
Because
it sounded like a weird. There was a laser beam sound effect used.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Like why? Well, who has a theremin nearby and is fucking with this?
Yeah,
it's just. So he's trying to get the hook off the chain. He's trying to get off the hook.
Yeah,
and he hears this noise. And then there's this like blinding light, and he just starts screaming.
Yeah.
And the guy in the beginning who seems like he's going to be, I guess he becomes Beefheart. He becomes Beefheart. He goes into the barn to check on the screaming, and he gets in there, and you just see this like kid has become this like giant wall of meat.
Yeah, he's a meat
face.
Cube. He's a meat cube.
He's a meat cube, but he's like flatter. He's more of a meat rhombus, if I'm going to split hairs.
Yeah.
He's a meat parallelogram, and his bones are sort of like weirdly like exposed and like binding him to the wall of the barn in some way.
They're still figuring out how to make an exact like 4x4 figure. It seems like they haven't figured it out. They're still working on the cube aspect.
His bones are still figuring out the IKEA instructions for the occult.
Why can't I get it to be a perfect square? He should be a perfect square.
So he our hero, I guess, Beefheart. I mean,
hero to zero. Am I right? Come on.
He goes to around the barn, and he picks up like a flamethrower that he just has, and he burns the screaming meat child.
Yeah.
Which is not a sentence I say often, but when I do,
he burns the screaming meat child, and the meat child screams this terrible otherworldly sound, which is like,
It's really bad.
Like there's multiple souls inside of him. It's scary.
Right. It sounds like you're burning an alien and it's scuttling away.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe is the idea. But like something occult, something otherworldly has happened to him. And the police come around later that night and he's like, no, I never seen him.
Yeah.
And there's his little kid's his friend and he's like, but he went in here. I know he went in here.
Yeah, kids. And classic lying kids.
And so he's like spraying. Oh yeah, he sprays down the barn before the cops get there, and he finds another smaller cube, I guess, and it's like a black little like hand-sized cube.
Yeah,
almost like one of those things you would carry around in D&D if you're a spellcaster or something. And he's like doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, but he holds on to it.
Right, and so the cops come. And he scares them away, or basically says, he's not here. Your kid's full of shit. And it's like a single mom of the remaining kid.
Right.
It comes with, and he's like, get out of here. And
the
cops are like,
he's probably out. He probably ran away. You know how kids. He'll come back.
No one who makes cuts of meat this good could ever kill a kid. Yeah. No one with this much industrial murdering equipment could ever kill a child.
Why would he do it? He's got such good meat. It's just, it's the cops. They
this is Texas. Respect. If he was a vegan, I'd understand.
Yeah.
So he spooks him. He gets rid of, he throws him off the scent. And he's like furious. And so he like throws the cube against the wall or something.
Are you asking
and it
me?
Starts... Sort of, yeah. I mean, because he's like in the kitchen.
Well, the cube starts moving, and it kind of freaks him out.
Yeah. And he throws it, right? Or does it just roll off the table and start scuttling about?
He throws it. He throws it against a wall, like you said, and it starts scuttling about. Which I guess
it has these like weird, like little like meaty legs,
and I guess
like
that's
Slim Jims.
The meat cube. I don't.
Sort of, but he becomes the meat
cube. Right, but there's no...
Cubes are an important part of this mythos, really, is what this movie is saying.
But it says, like, he throws against the wall, it scuttles towards him, he screams, that's when Meat Cube comes on the screen. Meat Cube. And it's like...
And the meaty tendrils are sort of climbing up his body at that point. Sort of like an Evil Dead. This thing is like it's like Venom symbiote, like engulfing him in a weird way.
But it's that like terrible early 2000s CGI where instead of like just doing practical effects like they should have
right. Used... It looks like the Scorpion King or what's that ghost ship?
Yeah, exactly. It's just like,
do you remember Ghost Ship?
I remember Ghost Ship. Yeah, Ghost Ship is.
Yeah, it had all this crazy CGI. It looked kind of like that. So it like he's getting like engulfed in the meat cube.
He basically Beefheart becomes Meat Cube at that point. If he is Beefheart, which I guess he has to be because he's the only other.
Either that or he's dead and Beefheart was within the cube. That's the thing.
That's the thing you don't know. About. Yeah, is the cube is it like the same thing where it's like if the alien lays an egg inside of you and the alien bursts out?
The other thing is Meat Cube sentient or is it like an animal? Because like my understanding of this movie is that the sci-fi element is that it is not invoking aliens. It's supposed to be something from a parallel dimension.
I mean, it seems Hellraiser-esque, I would say. Yeah, if that's what you're...
That's what I thought.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
They were going for. Like, it's supposed to be...
But they use a lot of fucking laser sounds, dude. They use so many laser sounds, and it doesn't...
Right, it clearly wants you to think this isn't just Texas Chainsaw. Mm-hmm. It's something otherworldly, but it also wants it to be, it wants like anything that it could. It seems like it's trying so desperately to not be any other horror movie and to carve its own niche that it sort of dabbles its little meaty tendrils into everything. So it says Meat Cube. That's like this like weird like 10-minute introduction to this
then
movie.
It starts with the lady fucking get another Red Bull vodka, please.
Yeah, and it's like hot young douchebags, like in Wrong Turn or every horror movie, basically.
There's 4 hot young douchebags, and what are their names? There's Kylie, that's the main one. Look it up.
Is that the guy or the girl?
Kylie is the main blonde girl.
Right. Okay.
And then
like Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, Kylie Minogue. Yeah, classic early 2000s.
Exactly. They're like, we need to get what the kids want.
Then
Kylie
there's
Minogue.
Ashley is the other girl. Jacob is Kylie's on again, off again boyfriend. And
Ashley, Kylie, Jacob. And Jacob, he's like...
And Tanner is
Tanner's
Ashley.
kind of the fuck up, isn't he?
Tanner's the fuck up, the stoner guy. That's it. That's it.
Right. Yeah. And Jacob is kind of studly, but also kind of boring and not a great actor.
No, he's not great. He's like kind of handsome, but he's not.
Kylie's the best actress in the movie, but even so, it also seems like there are scenes where she's like, "Are you saying this is some kind of meat cube?"
Well,
like,
it is a good question to ask because, like, is it some meat cube? You know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does make you think.
Like, what is it a meat cube? And it's like, yeah, it is. Stupid. It's the name of the movie. Come on.
And they seemed like they really wanted to shoehorn the name of the movie in this. Like,
cubes. Yeah.
I mean, okay. So,
but they're at the bar. They're getting drunk. And then
they're getting wasted, and they're having fun together, but Kylie kind of is tired of screwing around and acting like kids all the time. She wants to, like, it seems like they're, I don't know, mid-20s, right? And so they're, like, just at the point where they should be getting their shit together, maybe. But, like, Kylie's like, Jacob, right? She's like, Jacob, maybe we should get out of here and be on our own for a little bit. He's like, why? We're having fun.
Yeah.
And he's like not taking the hint at all, and she's like rolling her eyes.
Yeah.
And like, how would you describe Ashley? She's sort of like just there to be slaughtered.
Yeah, I would. That's literally what I was gonna say. Yeah, she is there to be slaughtered. Because she's like. She's not even like, at first it's like, oh, she's the drunker friend, but then like, she just happens to be like kind of more drunk in this one scene, and it's not even like
it seemed like they only had enough, like, they only knew enough women to write one female character.
Yeah.
And so Ashley's characteristic was just that she was constantly like, I gotta get another beer.
Yeah.
And just was like pounding beers.
Until she is slaughtered, I think, 10 minutes after she's introduced.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. She gets dragged through the gutter pretty hard by Meat Cube. And like, what happens is that, like, it's like a common problem with horror movies, I find, is that, like, I mean, they find a way to stretch it out in this one, but it's just like, I always want there to be 8 characters so we can get a lot of kills.
Right,
but
exactly.
like in this one, it's just like, they're like, we've got these 4 people, and then it's like, they just get them into the situation so crazy fast that it's just like, everything that's going to happen. Right. I mean, I will say some of the stuff was so grotesque in this movie.
It's it's gross. And they do, I mean, for the CGI, when they did a weird thing where they used like all the practical effects that they did use, like all like the chopping and stuff were good, but whenever they used CGI, it fucked it up. And that's
exactly.
Every early 2000s movie. It's like, if you had just stuck the practical effects and paid a little bit more money, this could have been like a classic movie, maybe. I don't know.
I hate that era in hindsight where it's like everyone was so excited that CGI was a thing.
Yeah.
That like they don't. It's
they
like
don't
everything
think about
looks
how
like a PS1
terrible
game.
it looks. Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, so they're basically, Kylie is like, wants to spend more time with Jacob, wants him to make like a firm commitment, and wants to know that their lives are going somewhere, that they aren't just gonna get
they're not gonna be stuck in this boring old meat cube for the rest of their lives,
But like, instead there's like a freak rainstorm, right? As they stay at the bar for a couple hours, they get into an argument because of their relationship stuff, and also because what happens is that Tanner like puts his hand on Kylie's butt while he's
just
drunk.
having fun, just drunk. He's just a fun guy,
right? And she's like, she slaps him, and he falls off his stool. and everyone laughs. And it kind of looks like she's a little bit pleased with herself. She beat the shit out of this guy so easily because he just is such a wastoid. And she turns to Jacob, and he just shrugs like, "That's just Tanner.
He's my best friend, man. He's Tanner, dude. The guy's hilarious, bro."
And she just like storms off.
Yeah,
outside, and they get in the big argument. It's like, we're just gonna waste our whole lives here. And he's like, "Come on, what's so bad about the bar? It's what we always do." She's like, "That's why it sucks. It's what we always do. I'm sick of it." And so he doesn't get it. He's being immature. She's longing for something more. As they're fighting, the storm starts brewing. The owner of the bar is like, "Get back inside. You're gonna get blown away, you skinny thing." He's a weird guy. He's a weird guy. I'm sure he's the director of the movie. And so they're trying to wake up for whatever reason. They like have to close out their tab, but there's like a run at the, I guess he's not, I don't know. They get stuck behind a bunch of other people trying to close out their checks. And so the rain starts coming down. They're trying to sober up. And, well, that's the other thing that's really stupid and fucked up and a recurring thing is that Jacob loves meat.
Yeah.
And so he's like obsessed with eating meat. And so does Tanner. They all love meat because it's Texas. But like, they're like, let's just stick around and get some like sandwiches or get some ribs or something, get some brisket.
Yeah, they're drunk and they want to eat some meat.
They're drunk and they want to sober up before they have to drive, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So like they stay and order more food since they got to drive. I don't know. Their plan is fucking stupid because they got to go out in the rain and they're drunk anyway. They should just stay there. But, of course, they got in the rain. They lose control because they're fighting. And they crash the car into a tree outside.
Yeah, the old Beefheart Ranch. Oh, boy.
Beefheart Ranch.
Yeah.
And so this is where, basically, in a few minutes, Ashley, gets what's coming to her. She's, like, so wasted.
Why does she get what's coming to her? It's not her fault. She's just drunk, and they leave her in a barn.
She gets what's coming to her. I mean,
they leave her in a barn to go explore the rest of the property because she's so drunk. How is that her fault?
Well, because, I mean, yeah, but she also cracks another beer while she's waiting.
She's just waiting. What's she gonna do? Not keep drinking?
I mean, she could be trying to get her cell phone signal because this is another movie where once again the phones don't work.
They don't work because of the rainstorm. Stupid
power's down.
They don't know. It was the early 2000s. Sometimes cell phones didn't work. Yeah.
So she's in the car and they're like, let's go up to this ranch. Maybe we can use her phone.
Yeah.
And so she's there drinking by herself. They're in like, I don't know. They're in this shitty car and
they want to see if the person at the fucking ranch has fucking phone they can use to get a tow truck, which is, your classic horror.
Of course.
Yeah.
So they go in, but Ashley's by herself, right? And like the car starts to like warble and shake a little bit, like something's happening to it. And she's like, "Hello." Yeah. And like I swear to God, she just starts chugging the beer while she chugs
the beer down, opens the car door, and like stumbles out into the rain. Just stay in the car. Why?
Just stay in the car.
They told you to stay in the car, Ashley. You lush.
So she's getting...
You're right. I take it back. She gets what's coming to her.
She's an idiot.
She's an idiot.
So it's hard to say because we don't spend that much time with her, and her whole bit
I know that she loves drinking,
and
that she drank too much, and that she's got what's coming to her.
Can we just all cool out? Let's all just have another beer. And I'm like,
Ashley, you silly goose.
So basically, she steps out of the car and is like, what's there? Is it a bear or something?
Yeah.
And like, she turns around and I thought it was a cool practical effect. Actually, it would have been, I don't know if it was, I don't know. It's a cool idea, but it was probably not a practical effect now that I'm thinking about it. But it's like, because the car flips, right?
Yeah. The car is
like, yeah. It flips like something very easily just like twirled it like it's nothing.
I think that was a practical effect. It did look, but it flips so high in midair that there's no way
it's this ugly quick cut where it's like the car tips practically, and then they cut to like a shittier shot,
and it's upside down,
it like flying in the air in CG, doing like fucking Simone Biles dances in the air.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like that someone's doing gymnastics in the air, and then it cut back.
Like
the car is flipped over. King. It's like, damn.
And so they're like, she's like, "What the hell? My beer was in there."
Yeah. She's
you asshole. Just come out wherever you are, you fucking stupid bear.
Yeah.
It's clearly not a bear that did this.
No.
And that's when like the camera pans behind her and there's fucking Meat Cube.
Who is now, glory, right? I think 7 feet tall at least. Or maybe Ashley's just very short.
It can't be a comfortable costume because it just looks like large and weighed down with hamburger.
Yeah.
And he basically like grabs her by the hair and like fucking drowns her in the gutter.
Yeah. Which is not what I thought he was going to do, because he likes...
What did you think he was going to do?
I just assumed he was going to immediately... I mean, he turns her into a cube later. I thought he was going to like rip her arms off and like...
Well, he does rip her arms off, but he drowns her first and then he like breaks her down.
But I think that's actually like pretty nice. Like, you kill her before you'll do all this stuff to her. I don't know. It seems like, I mean, I do appreciate...
You know what? I'm going to be real. I don't like being in either of those situations.
I'm saying the fact that he was nice enough to not rip all of her limbs off before...
But he does do that to other people later.
I know, but I'm saying at this point in time,
fucking
all he did was drown her. That's not so bad.
Becomes like a linked sausage for this guy that he runs a fucking ticker tape parade around the house.
I understand that, but in this scene, he could have like that. She was gonna choke on her own vomit anyway. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why he did it. Maybe that's the irony of it.
Whatever. I'm getting kind of queasy thinking about this. I did drink a lot while watching this because I saw Ashley drank so many beers. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have a beer. And it's like, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be that.
Were you trying to go beer for beer with Ashley, dude? She's crazy.
No, I can't do that. I'm fucking in my 30s now. I can't fucking do that. I couldn't do that in my 20s.
The actress who played Ashley was also probably in her 30s, just to be fair.
Well, she was a Stanislavski trained actress. She knew how to do it.
Clearly,
she would never get drunk on set. She would...
But yeah, he drowns her and then rips her apart and makes her into a cube.
He rips her apart limb for limb. Yeah. He begins beating her corpse with her arms like he's
already dead, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nice that he let her not be tortured, sort of, this time.
Right, but he just wants sort of like a water cooked meat. But then he has sort of like a sack that he slings on his back, and he like collects all the limbs and like... What's interesting about him is that he's so super strong, right? He doesn't like use a cleaver all the time. He just literally rips the limbs off as if they're dolls.
I guess we're supposed to assume that the guy at the beginning has the power of the meat cube. I guess it makes him super strong. That's how we're supposed to think.
Or that's the thing is like okay. So this brings the soliloquy in the mirror.
I just think that was. I think that was something that should have been cut and was not cut, because it's the only lines he utters the entire movie besides the fucking meat puns. Yeah, besides the meat puns.
Well, okay. So if we can go back to that mirror scene for just 20 to 15 minutes,
okay.
Because. If I'm trying to parse this out now, okay?
Fine.
So there's two scenarios, right? Either he has melded with the being or entity inside the cube, right?
That makes sense.
And has been imbued with its power, like
sense.
Peter Parker and Venom, right?
Yes.
Or the creature inside the cube has taken over his body and used him as a vessel, right?
So he's talking to his self in the... He's talking to his old self. Maybe that makes more sense. But it's not his dad, though. We clear on that, right?
No. If it's that's my point. It still could be his dad. That's what I think. If it's a creature, maybe it's an otherworldly creature communicating with his dad through the mirror. I don't see why not. It's his British dad. If you think it's his British dad, tweet at Mike Kolar. It's his British fucking dad.
The British people are only butlers, and that's it.
Tweet at.
Or
I
princes.
really want to know this now. When this comes out, let's do a poll. Is
Venom,
it the British
your
dad?
Venom, that makes sense. Like if it's old Beefheart.
None of this makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay, I'm saying, but it makes more sense. It makes more sense if it's the old man Beefheart selling fucking shit on the side of the road than if his dad.
Why did he look like a pig? At no point did he. That's why it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Never mind.
Let's move on from the mirror soliloquy.
So. Anyway, no, we're going to get back to it.
We'll get back to it because it's coming up.
So, the other three go to the house. The door's open. They go inside, and Kylie's like, we shouldn't do this. This is breaking and entering. It's not breaking and entering. Door's wide open.
Yeah, Jacob Jacob does not know the definition of breaking and entering because that is what they are doing.
He's a jokester. They're both knuckleheads.
Yeah.
Kylie can do better.
Kylie can do better, and she knows it. She it's just whatever.
So they're trying to get the phone, but the phone lines are dead.
I gotta give I think we got the shout out to like set decoration because they put like a lot of
great.
They looked at a lot of cube stuff. Like they put a Rubik's Cube. They put
yeah, but the Rubik's Cube, all the squares were painted black.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you even fucking solve
it? Was like, well, let's just put as much cube stuff as we got in this set. They're like, okay, cool.
Yeah, all 4x4 frames.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. They did an okay job.
It was like they had the I would not be surprised if whoever did set deck on this show later worked on like The Favorite or Catherine the Great on Hulu or some shit like that, and it was just like, this is their first gig. They were the only auteur on set,
and they just said, and the director said, just cube stuff. Just go get cube stuff. Like, what?
They can only do a good job, and so they're like, okay, great, because it looked great. Like, again, anything. But it felt like overdone, but also on point. Yeah. And it made the movie better.
Yeah.
It made the movie better. I really fell in love with the house. So it's like this gothic horror house, straight up Phasmophobia, Texas Chainsaw bullshit, Resident Evil. And like,
it's like none of the three are bothered by it for some reason. Like, oh, this is just your classic normal house.
This is a Texas roadhouse. Yeah. Classic Texas.
There's peanuts on the floor. It's fine.
This is where my friend Becky lives. This is probably what her house looks like.
Big deal.
Meat hooks everywhere.
Yeah.
She's a vegan.
They just want a phone.
Really gonna freak her out.
They just want a phone, you know?
So, basically... Yeah, they want a phone. The phone's out. Of course it is. It's like, oh, it must be the weather. But later they discover that the phone lines have all been cut. Yeah. Why he would cut phone lines in his own house? Maybe he has a cell plan. Maybe he uses his meat face as a receiver. Who's
he gonna call? He's got meat for a face.
He's gonna call his dad in the mirror.
Okay, all right.
Because it's not a flashback. They are communicating in real time. Meet dad. Is his British dad his dad, or is that his split personality? Write to us at Made Up Movies Pod. I don't know, man. I don't know. But anyway, so basically, they go in, they all get killed, end of movie. There you go. So
I mean, you're glossing over a lot of it, but yeah, that's basically
but am I, though?
No, you're not.
I mean, a lot of it is them going into rooms and being like, that's fucked up.
That's weird.
It's like...
Yeah.
The stupidest fucking scene in the movie. They go into like what looks like a lab where it's like weird occult experiments.
Yeah.
And there's a little, looks like a mason jar full of urine, and instead of like a fetal pig or something, there is an alive miniature cow, CGI, floating in the piss jar, just and doing the fucking backstory.
And what was that's where it's like, is it aliens? Because it doesn't make
Cube.
I understand it's meat cube. I'm saying like, no, that's not
in
something
the context. I think that cow is his dad.
All right, not everything.
Okay, not everything's his dad, but I'm just saying it could have been. Yeah. You need to open your mind. I think the cow is Kylie's dad.
That would make sense. The cow represents society.
What's kind of cool later in the movie, and we will get to it at some point, is that the single mom from the beginning of the movie does come back, and sort of has like what's Halloween lady's
Oh,
named
yeah,
Laurie
yeah. It's like, why can't I think
Strode
of her? What?
or something? Laurie Strode or Breen
I
or
don't
something.
know her.
Anyway, Laurie from Halloween, but like has that Jamie Lee Curtis like I'm back.
Just
bitches.
say Jamie Lee Curtis.
So, but anyways, there's like a weird thing. So anyway, the kid from the opening who survived,
Yeah, it is Laurie
looking
Strode.
for
Good
his
job.
friend. It's what?
It's Laurie Strode. You're right.
I was right. Yeah. Oh, who's the horror genius now? I remembered a single thing.
I didn't even know she had a name.
Based on how this genre treats women.
Yeah, I didn't have no
she
idea.
was just lady who gets gutted, number 6. So anyway, I am jumping ahead, but I just want to say that the people from the beginning do come back, which is like a nice touch. But again, they've painted they painted themselves into a real meat cube in this one. And I'm glad that got a reaction. I felt really stupid saying it.
I mean,
but it's true. So anyway, like the people from the beginning do come back, but that's after both of our male heroes are already
right. It's a little too late to.
Yeah, it's just like because they needed characters at that
yes.
point.
Oh shit! We should have had 6 fucking hot teens.
Shit. I feel like that's why the mirror scene even exists. Just so the movie is like,
why did we get 2 more teens to get murdered in this stupid movie?
Because a lot of them, what makes this movie suck is that, again, sort of like in Spark, there's so many long takes of things that are just... But in this one, it's like, it's not just someone sitting at a fucking typewriter.
Yeah, it's not as bad as Spark.
It's like they're moving through this interesting looking set, which is nice at least, but they are just sort of like dialogueless, inspecting like weird shit. And
then they do the thing. It's like, well, let's split up. It's like, I think he later says, let's split up. For what reason?
Let's split up. We're going to try to find a computer and I can AIM message somebody.
It's such a weird thing to say, but it's the early 2000s, so like it kind of makes sense. I don't know.
Wait, I remember. I left a Green Day lyric as my away message. If I can
just respond to my brothers. Yeah, it was very like it definitely dates the movie as the early 2000s.
And there's like when Jacob is about to be killed, it is because he finds an old gateway computer.
Yeah.
And he's trying desperately. It doesn't make sense because they said the phone lines are cut, but I guess he has DSL or something.
He's got a nice internet connection here on the farm somehow.
But he's like the logic of it doesn't make sense technologically, unlike the rest of this movie, which does.
Yeah.
But like he's literally racing the dial-up sound. It goes doo, 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 doo,
yeah.
Brr. As it's making its noises, he's racing for it to connect so he can get on AIM to contact his brother as Meat Cube Beefheart is stalking up.
Well, they keep showing his brother, and his brother's just like ripping bongs on AIM, and then his brother texts him.
Yep.
He's like, "Hey man, help! I need help!" And he's like, "Who is this?"
What's going on?
What's going on, man?
I don't recognize this. Are you a virus?
Yeah.
Age, sex, location?
Yeah.
Let's meet up on Yahoo Chat if you're cool.
His brother's like just ripping bong, listening to Sugar Cult or whatever the fuck he's listening to.
Imagine you're that character and you realize that's what got your brother killed.
Not responding to him on AIM.
Yeah.
Call the cops, man.
Even if he did know immediately.
Call the cops and do what? What am I supposed to say? You crazy.
We're at a place.
Yeah.
Look it up. Okay, it'll take me 45 minutes.
Yeah, I'm fucking good. Yeah, MapQuest.
Let me trace the IP address with AOL.com.
Yeah.
Okay, is it a dancing baby on GeoCities? No. Okay,
well, then I guess I can't help you. I can't help you because that's all there is. Yeah.
Internet sucked back then, is what we're trying to say. You kids have it easy.
But that kill was. What were you? Oh, sorry. Rant about the internet some more. Sorry. What were you saying?
No, I was just going to make a bad joke about the fact that nowadays kids have nothing to worry about except the oncoming race war and COVID and Russia. Things are so much easier now.
Kids got it
everything's
easy.
all right. We walked uphill both ways with our 56K. My Dreamcast couldn't even download 200 megabits per second. Fuck.
I get a Dreamcast? Cool, Richie Rich.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ.
It was. I missed. This is neither here nor there, but I feel like Meat Cube is a movie you could have watched on the Dreamcast when it came out.
I don't have one because I was a middle class kid.
I mean, me too. I mean, you had I'm not getting into our personal lives.
Let's not get into our personal lives. Just needless to say.
You had a dad who literally dug up treasures with a whip. I mean, that's pretty cool.
God, I wish.
So,
but this is what you're talking about, where the meat cube is behind him as he's texting, aiming his brother, and he stuffs him into the sausage maker. Well, he stuffs his belly into the sausage maker, and it's just, I guess
that's Tanner. That's Tanner that he does the sausage maker thing too. This guy, Jacob, he fucking puts his, because like the meat cube is blank, but like he can rotate it too. Yeah. And at one point he rotates it, and there's just a bunch of teeth on one side of it.
Right. One side is a teeth
on the
cube.
Bite Jacob's face.
Oh, right. That's Jacob. Sorry. That's not Tanner.
Yeah. I mean, so we don't really know. I feel like what happens is that Jacob just gets... Oh, yeah. There's a quick cut, like, Michael Bay style sequence where we just see Jacob being broken down like a cow downstairs or in the slaughterhouse or whatever. But then he's just done. Then we only have... It's like maybe 25 minutes into this movie.
See him as...
We've jumped around a lot, but...
You see him as part of the... the end is...
Yeah.
Kylie goes into the barn, and there's a giant meat cube, like a giant Rubik's Cube, and Jacob is clearly part of one side of that Rubik's Cube. But before that... Yeah.
And so is the young kid from the beginning.
Everybody's
it's like
part of it.
That's been growing, and it's like rotating.
Yeah.
It's like kind of hovering, but also kind of... It's like this weird, fucked up, fakey, but kind of... Like when they do punch-ins on it, and it's practical, it looks great. But then again...
And then they do that...
Back,
when they go the CGI,
it looks screensaver.
Terrible. But that's jumping ahead. But yeah. But I mean, we're really not, though. We're really not.
It's hard. There's not a lot of content in this movie because it's like... Then they're going through the house some more. It's just Tanner and Kylie, and you think Tanner's gonna man up and maybe protect her somehow, but he really doesn't. He's just using it as a chance to get in her pants. He's just a creep.
Yeah.
And so they split up again, and this is when Kylie starts to uncover the mystery of what's going on, but this is also when she utters, it's like some kind of, you're telling me it's some kind of meat cube?
Yeah.
Because Tanner finds some weird relic that, he finds the cube from the beginning.
Yeah.
He finds like the initial cube, the little black one. And he's like, I think this thing has something, it feels weird. I'm getting like a weird energy. And she's like, you're just fucked up in the head.
Yeah.
That's why you've got a weird
creepo.
energy.
That's what you are.
And he's like, no, but look at these drawings. And there's like drawings, maybe production art.
Yeah. I think
concept art.
Hieroglyphics on the,
Yeah. It's like the walls are carved with it. Maybe they were carved with meat hooks. Maybe I'm overthinking this. I don't know.
No, there was hooks, and there was another cube on the cube. So it's like, I don't know. But for some reason, she's
put a cube in your cube. I heard you like cubes. So... basically, it's like a fucked up room covered in meat and drawings and weird serial killer bullshit.
Yeah.
And drawings of meat cubes. So many cubes, so much meat.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's something like otherworldly about this. And he's like, you're fucked up. She hasn't seen anything supernatural at this point besides the cow, right? Like
the cow's the only thing she saw. She's like, whoa, this is weird. She'd think, whoa, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
This is not physically possible.
This is not a physically possible thing. No, she's like, this
doesn't
weird.
come up later in the movie.
That's a weird thing to say.
Yeah. So basically, Tanner tries to get handsy with her again, and she shoves him again, and he gets impaled on a meat hook.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa! Well, you killed me. She's like, no. So she helps pull him off the meat hook.
Yeah.
But she goes to get bandages from the bathroom. And this is like the psych out because she's like, I've got to find the bathroom. Maybe there's a first aid kit. And that's when we see the bathroom scene with Beefheart and his father. His father, who I assume is named Captain Beefheart.
His split personality. Yeah.
Right, and his British father.
Nope.
Played by probably Sean Bean, I assume.
Well, it wasn't, but
whatever. I will agree to disagree. So you think she's gonna run into him in the bathroom?
Yeah,
but he ends his monologue.
Well, they do it. They do that thing where like she's looking for the bathroom, and then the door opens, and it's not her. It's just like a white light, and he leaves. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Okay.
What? Are you going to ask me if it's his fucking dad again?
So he has a friend from the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. The fucking,
right.
What's his name?
So his friend from the beginning
Dwight
of
from
the
Office
movie is there and is in the basement, like breaking down and helping prepare body parts from the people that... so he's like his assistant. I don't know.
Yeah, he's this weird, like Frankenstein's assistant. Frankenstein's
he's Igor.
Assistant. He's Igor, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's not super important. At one point, cops come by because they see the wrecked car, and he's the one that tells them to go away.
Yeah.
I assume he only exists so a guy with a fucking meathead doesn't have to come to the door.
Right. Yeah. You can't explain that away, especially if you only.
Ooh, costume party.
Nice to meet you. Well, yeah, okay.
Oh, that's good. I just got that.
Yeah.
So anyway, she goes to get the stuff. He leaves the bathroom, has some weird I'm sorry, the monster guy, Beefheart, leaves the bathroom. And you think she's gonna get got, but who really gets got is Tanner, who gets his stomach pulled out and his intestines put into the sausage gun. Yeah, right. Into the meat grinder, and he just basically like gets unraveled and shrivels up into like skin, and then gets his ribs pulled inside.
Yeah,
out
and then he says the worst line of the movie when she comes back in to see this horror, and he goes, "It's ribbed for your pleasure." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he does. It's fucked up.
It's a fucked up thing to say.
That's when the walls around them start erupting.
Yeah.
With like all the meat cubes and like weird occult stuff start to come alive.
And that's where she starts running, I guess.
Yeah, screaming. But like it's like the walls are like busting open with gross stuff. That's the part that made me feel sick. So
those are good practical effects, even though they clearly just went to like the discount meat aisle and just bought as much as they could, but it still was kind of gross.
She runs out of the house.
Yeah.
And she's running down the road and has the moment where she slips or breaks her ankle or something, or hurts her ankle.
It's raining.
Like you see Beefheart behind her, but that's when a car pulls up and someone's like, "Get in!" And it's some like vaguely, maybe a little dorky but kind of handsome guy who pulls her in, and an older version of the mom from the first,
which I guess we're supposed to know because she explains it to us. Because
otherwise,
I wouldn't have known.
She's like, I know. She's like, did you see that guy back there? She's like, I know. I've known this whole time. It's like, why don't you fucking do something about it? Because you just let it happen. He's too powerful. But we've been working on a Deus Ex Machina to take him down all this time. So they bring her into their house, which is like covered in like anti-meat cubes, I guess.
Well,
I don't know
it's
what
basically the same sort of weird hieroglyphic propaganda, but the anti-version of that.
We've been doing research on them.
It's the red pins and string. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they've got like some sort of weird obelisk and like sphere that I guess spheres defeat cubes.
Yep.
That's what makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So she's got like some like obelisk and necklace, and there's a sphere necklace, and she's like, it's like never let them be far apart. It's like really stupid. And so she gives them these, she's like, these should protect you, but you need to go back inside and jam them into the meat cube.
Yeah.
Because that'll stop this.
She's like, why me? And it's like, because you're the chosen one, obvious.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know why she has to do it.
They don't explain it. They don't say she's the chosen one. It's just like,
I'm too old. My time has passed.
Yeah. It's like, well, then if your time's passed, go do it.
Her son is like, I'll come with you. It's like, fuck yeah, you damn right you will. This is your plan. Why did I get...
giant meat cube are you talking about? Jesus Christ. Yeah.
So she goes back to the farm with the son, who's like, I guess, her new romantic interest.
Well, the mom describes it as like, I can't kill my own son, so I guess the son is part of the meat. Like, but it's still like, he's not your son anymore.
He's
you lunatic.
still in there.
He's like, yeah,
right.
That's why she hasn't done it yet.
Right, because they're brothers. The kids in the beginning are brothers. They're not friends. They're brothers. And so she can't kill her own son.
That's her excuse. It's a pretty good excuse, I guess.
But she actually gets killed because the what's his face Beefheart comes into her house once they leave to go to the meat cube. Yeah. She gets like,
and she's in a rocking chair, and she's like, I always knew you one day you'd come for me too. Yeah.
And she's got a shotgun, and she fires it at him, but he gets back up and then like just rips her in half.
What did you shoot him in his meat cube? What's that gonna do?
It's just absorbs it. Really.
Absorbs it. He's the Terminator.
So they're there, and they find the cube in the barn, and
it's clear that he's had like hundreds of victims at this point. It seems like they've all been built into this thing. Yeah, and it's like, what's it for? Why does it exist? It's like, because he's gonna use this when it erupts. It's gonna do this to the whole planet. Yeah. What is?
I guess
I don't know. I guess it's going to turn the planet into a cube. I don't know.
So his dad, that's why he was talking to his dad, the commander in the mirror.
Okay.
He's like, that's what I think. I don't know. I know you don't think, but whatever.
I don't think. I disagree.
Okay, so they have to set up some weird, like, I don't know. It's like a summoning circle beneath the thing,
right?
And so they're like drawing the stuff on the ground with the meat hooks, carving these things in, and they're gonna try to banish it.
And the whole time this is happening, everybody in the cube is screaming at them. So it's like they're a little distracted.
I get it now. So it would require two of them to do, because he has to do all the summoning and weird shit. And someone has to jam the obelisk and the sphere into the cube.
Yeah.
But it takes such strength to like actually do that because of the crazy alien forces coming out of this thing, that she, the mom wasn't sure she'd be able to do it, basically, because she's so frail.
I guess. She had 20 years to do it, so...
I have no idea. Well, it took that long to research on what all this crazy shit was.
That's true.
So, as they're trying to do this, he's like, do it now, and she's trying, but she sees Jacob's face in it, and she freaks, and she backs up, and that's when she bumps into our hero, Beefheart, who appears, and throws her away, and seeing this occult stuff, and knowing they're trying to disrupt his cube, basically just like starts beating the shit out of the other guy, the
brother,
the brother, and he's just like rips his leg off and starts slapping him around in the face with his own leg.
Pretty cool.
And that's when she says something like pseudo clever. It's like really stupid. She says, "Oh my God." She says, "Where's the beef?"
Yeah, where's the beef?
And jams the stuff into the cube. The cube erupts, covering all of them with beef. And this is the weird fucking Jumanji part of it. The guy from the beginning is released from the cube, and he's like, "Oh, what happened? You look so familiar. Weren't you a little kid once?"
Terrible
like,
line.
Yeah,
I wasn't. What? Of course I was.
Yeah, everyone
was once a little kid. What do you mean?
And then just like the cops come.
Well, it all gets sucked into like a singularity. So like there's no
right.
So she just looks like a crazy person whose friends disappeared when the cops come.
Right.
Hashtag believe women, not these cops.
But they're helping him. They're helping him because like the brother survives, right? He's like just missing a leg, and they like carry him out, right?
Right. Yeah, they're basically questioning her like she's going to go to jail even though the brother corroborates.
Oh, right, because there's no evidence.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like all the stuff in the house, right? But I mean, like, how this all happened. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard to explain.
Yeah.
But that's the least of their concerns. I mean, I'm sure the dad will help.
Well, if he was the actual dad and not just the split personality of Beefheart, maybe.
Hey, we got through the whole thing without mentioning Joker. That's pretty good.
Oh, and
but
you
I
mentioned it.
I did watch Joker. That's why I had to get drunk. Because I'm so sad that there's not a sequel yet.
There might be.
It could be, but we'll see. I heard Willem Dafoe wants to play a different kind of Joker who meets the Joker.
Green Goblin
cool idea.
is...
But he literally said he wants to play a different Joker.
Which is Green Goblin. He already played the Joker. He played Green Goblin.
Yeah, but he wants to play a different Green Goblin.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's a real quote. All right, so that's Meet Cute.
Well, you forgot.
Evans.
You were probably too drunk to see the after credits, weren't you?
There's no after credits.
There were after credits because they're trying to set up a fucking sequel to Beef.
No.
To Meet
what
Cute.
Happens?
It says 2 years later. And
Tell me that it's the chimp on the beach again.
No, I wish. No, I wish it was the chimp. No, she goes to a sushi restaurant and she orders.
No.
Yes, she goes to a sushi restaurant and she's there with a brother who I guess they're dating now, and she goes.
Does he have a new leg or what?
They're just dating. They don't explain it, but it's a quick scene, and the waiter brings out sushi, but it's not circle. It's not circles.
It's cubes.
Yes.
Ew.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's so stupid.
That's
It's
fish
so
cube.
Fish
what
cube.
are we setting up?
I don't know. They're setting up, but it goes.
Stupid.
But it goes. Duh, and it cuts to black. It's like, what is that? I guess it means Meat Cube is still alive.
Fuck that.
I'm not.
Why did you have to tell me that? That's gonna ruin the rest of my night. How am I gonna play
sorry.
everything?
I had to tell you the after credits scene because it was so stupid.
All right, that's Fish Cube.
Meat Cube.
Whichever. It's a sequel. Anyway. If you want to submit your idea for a made-up movie, go on to at madeupmoviespod on Twitter or Gmail us at madeupmoviespod@gmail.com and tell us what like the name of the movie is and just like a 1-sentence summary, like it's a sci-fi horror about meat cubes. Yeah. And we'll take it from there. These are all totally real movies. We aren't. What
would you rate this Meat Cube out of meats? Like,
you always remind me to do that. I always forget that we have to do it.
You got to rate it. You're a critic. You're a film critic.
I loved it. I would say it's 4 out of 5 compared to everything else we did.
I'm a sucker for horror movies, so I agree. 4 out of 5 cubes.
I had a lot of fun. I'm a sucker for like late 90s, early 2000s, whatever. I don't know why I have nostalgia for like a total crap ass period for culture, but
best times to be alive, baby.
When the height of culture was the Star Wars prequels. This is what we got to deal with. So yeah, that's that. That's Made Up Movies. Check out our Twitter. And submit your ideas for other made-up movies that we could do. Thanks to everyone who's listening. Anything else, Kolar, that I forgot?
No, you got all of it.
Check out Bunker Brothers if you haven't already. It's our other show that we did. It's pretty damn funny. Lots of good celebrity guests on that. So, Meat Cube. Made-up movies. Bye-bye.
Bye.